with LeBron. First game back from the All-Star break, and the Lakers made easy work of the Golden State Warriors, beat them 124 to 111. LeBron and AD combined for only 25 points, but new addition Malik Beasley got busy, put in 25 by himself on 7 3-pointers. So, Twan, let's start with you. Did the Lakers look like a certain playoff team last night?
They look good. I think it's going to take some time. I like the new additions. They got a lot younger. I think they're going to be better defensively because, LeBron's getting older. And then obviously AD, you call him to control the middle. So you need a better perimeter defense. But I like where the Lakers are at right now. I thought they needed a fusion of youth on their team, and they did do that with the additions that they added. And now it's time to just try to get some continuity. I think, you spend the next time, obviously you got to fight for a playoff position, but you got to build some continuity right now with that young group. Find out what's going to be your best five. I don't know what's that best five. It's going to take us a while to see what's that unit that you're going to have closing games out. But I like the infusion of the youth that they've added to the team. And then this is the biggest thing. And, Rick, you understand this. It's the mindset of those young guys about winning the title. LeBron is not there to make the playoffs. Well, LeBron's not there to make the playoffs. Anthony Davis, you got guys there that have bigger goals and bigger ambitions. So you got to get these guys in the right frame of mind. I think that's going to be more important than actually the play. They got to get their mind right that you're playing to try to get to the title. That's what LeBron is playing for now. LeBron's not playing to make it to the NBA playoffs. He's been there 20 times. That's not a problem. He's trying to win a title. So you got to think about that. And I think that's the mindset. That's going to be the thing for LeBron and AD to get those guys in the right mindset to win the NBA title.
All right, and Rick, you heard Twan. He brought up the T word, title. So is that a little too far, too fast? Are they definitely in the P place playoffs? Are they definitely?
They're in a P place. They're in the play-in. Let's say that they are more of a play-in team than what we saw of the Warriors last night. And I can't even call them the Golden State Warriors. I'd have to call them like the Olden Warriors because they were missing a couple of key pieces. And I would swear that I know Nick's not on the show today, but did Nick mail in this topic? Does he want to immediately anoint the Lakers? They're on their way. They're a threat. They're going to play for a title this year. They're in 13th. They still have to leapfrog not just the Warriors, but at least 2 other teams. So I liked what I saw. I liked the vibe that they have. I would say that they're more of a playoff team now than they were 2 weeks ago. But to suggest that they beat a Warriors team without Steph Curry, their best scorer, without Andrew Wiggins, arguably certainly one of their 2 best defenders, and 2 G League guys in their main rotation coming off the bench in Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb, and I'm just not ready to say that this is the determination. Look, it's cold and rainy in LA today. I don't want to add to the weather, but I can't be all sunshine simply because they beat a shorthanded Warriors team first game out of the break.
All right, look, Twan's in Chicago. I'm in New York. We definitely don't want to hear any complaining about the weather in California. But I've heard that a lot, Rick, and that's fair. Like you said, they beat the Warriors, that team that's depleted. They beat New Orleans right before the break. They looked good, but that team didn't have Zion Williamson. What I will say, though, is this about the Lakers. They did what they're supposed to do against undermanned opponents. They led them essentially from buzzer to buzzer, beat them both by double figures, and looked comfortable in doing so. Obviously, the pieces fit much better together. Malik Beasley is a great piece because he can shoot, he can defend, he's athletic. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell, and even Jared Vanderbilt's a really good defender. So I think they got better. I think the question is, I agree, Rick, I think they get in the play-in. I think they could, had they had more time, they might have been able to move up to the top 6. But I don't think they have time to do that. So, Twan, you brought up title. How dangerous do you think this Lakers team can be if they stay healthy? Let me say this first. I agree with you in that if they get into the play-in, which we think they will, they survive the play-in, I think they'll be dangerous. I'm not saying win the West dangerous, but could they knock off Memphis? The top 3 seeds are Denver, Memphis, and Sacramento. If either of them gets a Lakers team that's playing well because they've been through the play-in, I think that's a seriously tough series for one of those top 3 seeds. So, Twan, how far do you think the Lakers can go realistically?
As far as LeBron James and Anthony Davis take them, and probably a little bit more if Anthony Davis can stay healthy. I like where they at. I think obviously the fusion of youth that they have, I think is great for the Lakers. They need that. The Russells, you know what I mean? The Malik Beasleys of the world, the Jared Vanderbilts, guys that are going to maybe do a little bit more dirty work where AD and LeBron can really focus in on the hard labor of scoring the basketball. I like what they got. They needed that infusion of youth. And we got to wait and see. I think that's the thing. If they're able to guarantee the top 4 teams do not want to play them. I can guarantee you that they do not want to see the Lakers in the 7-game series. So I like where they're at right now. It was a good pickup to get a lot younger. And LeBron James ain't hit his stride yet. Wait till LeBron James hit his stride. When LeBron James hit his stride, and I like what AD's at. As long as AD continues to play, we know AD has time, may not play sometimes. So that worries me. But if AD can stay healthy, this guy's the limit. I would not want to be a team. I would not be a 3 seed and have to play the Lakers at the 6 seed. I wouldn't want to play them.
It's a tough first-round matchup for sure. All right, Rick, you mentioned the Warriors earlier. Let's go to them. They're down to the 10th seed. Obviously, they got some injury issues. Is it time for the Warriors to hit the panic button?
Oh, hell no.
Oh?
It was time a long time ago to hit the panic button. That panic button is like dead now. They've already hit it. So they hit it when they started. They hit it when they started out, when they couldn't win a game on the road. They hit it when Steph Curry got injured, and now we don't know how long he's going to be out or what he's going to be like when he gets back. They hit it when their defense was demonstrated as being non-existent. They hit it when they discovered that Kuminga and James Wiseman and Moses Moody weren't ready to step into the shoes of Nemanja Bjelica and Otto Porter. They hit it when they traded for Gary Payton II, and it turns out that GP is hurt more than they thought, and now they don't know what they're going to get out of that. Like this now because they lost to the Lakers. No, that panic button that's been activated, and it was a while ago.
Did it start with the punch? Did that essentially ruin the season, set a bad tone?
I'm not going to say it ruined the season. I'm going to say that it complicated their ability to rebound from the issues that they have. The defensive issues that they have are directly connected to the punch because Draymond Green has not been able to have the authority and the voice and make the demands necessary to bring this team to the level of defense that is necessary. And that starts with Jordan Poole. Like one of the things that last year worked so well, Jordan Poole is not a good defender. And now that he's gotten paid and he's stepping into Steph Curry's shoes at various times, he's even less interested in defending. And last year, Draymond was really good about, and I talked to Andre Iguodala about this, they had a good cop, bad cop thing going with Jordan in terms of getting him to play as hard a defense as they could. He hasn't been able to say that. Draymond hasn't been able to say anything to Jordan or any of the other young guys as a result of the punch. And I see a direct correlation between their defensive issues and the fact that Draymond Green has had to hold his tongue.
All right, Twan, you agree quickly. Golden State's done. They're not a contender in the West anymore?
They're not a contender. There's just too much turmoil, and I agree with Rick to a certain degree. It's tough to come back for when fights happen internally. Guys, kind of tune out, and especially the person that's really instigating that, and Draymond Green, guys tune you out, and it becomes a big distraction. I think they've done a good job of getting control of their season, but I still think it's going to be a problem down the line. It's too hard to come back from there. Guys got pride. You got to deal with family, friends, people talking. It's just too much going on the outside to really recover from that. I think they've done a good job to keep themselves in the mix, but that's why you see this up and down season by Golden State. It's because of that incident.
All right, Twan, let's switch gears, talk some Mavericks. Now, Luka and Kyrie were 0-2 together with the Mavs heading into that game last night. They played the Spurs. That's a good way to get your first win. Luka drops 28, Kyrie 23. Twan, was the win over San Antonio last night something or nothing for these Mavericks?
I think it's something. I think one thing that this dual team needs to have confidence. They got to learn how to continue to play with each other and play off each other. And anytime you can win a game is always good. I'd never take a win and say it's nothing. But, one thing about this, they got to figure out, I think the biggest thing for them is who's going to be that guy. And Rick can understand this with about 3 minutes to go. Who is Jason Kidd drawing up that play for? That's where you're going to see that, because playoff games are going to be much closer. Everything's going to be tight. Who are you drawing up that play for? Is Kyrie going to be comfortable taking I did it with LeBron, getting in the corner and waiting to see if he gets a shot? Is Luka going to be comfortable with Kyrie going one-on-one? Those guys have got to be able to accept that on who's got the hot night. Believe me, I play with Paul Pierce, and you got to be able to accept certain things. And you got to realize when the coach gets to that certain individual, you got to be humble enough to do that and continue to do your job. So I'm interested to see that as the season goes along and we get to the playoffs. Are those guys going to be comfortable who's taking that last shot at the end of the game?
Yeah, and beyond that, Twan, the defense is a big question in Dallas. Rick, can they make any type of run in your mind in the Western Conference playoffs?
No, and primarily because of that defense. I do like what I've seen.